What's up, everybody? Brian from WrestleMap here, and I've got a really cool international pro wrestling story for you today. So let's just get right into it. In a show of resiliency, pro wrestling has returned to Ukraine. Despite an ongoing war, live pro wrestling events have resumed in the country and are now taking place in Kiev. Nothing is easy right now, but we are finding a way. That was the message from the Ukrainian Wrestling Arena during a recent chat over Instagram. After being forced to suspend operations and having to cancel their last event in Odessa that was scheduled to take place 2 days after the Russian offensive in Ukraine was formally launched in February 2022, pro wrestling is back in Ukraine. On December 9th, the UWA made their return to the ring in front of a sold-out crowd, no less, of over 100 spectators at Universal Studio in Kiev. The event had the title of Unbreakable, a fitting description of both the Ukrainian people and the UWA, who, despite an ongoing war, have resumed holding live pro wrestling events. On January 20th, following the success of December's event, the UWA moved live operations into a larger arena for Power of the People. It's been a long road for the UWA crew to this point. In 2022, their top champion, Poison, was defending the UWA title across Europe when given the opportunity, making their belt a true world title by defending it internationally. Poison has since vacated the title due to being out of the country at present time. UWA mainstay Andrew Reed was called into combat to help defend the country and remains in active duty today. In the midst of the war, UWA relocated their base of operations from Odessa to the Ukrainian capital of Kiev, and despite all of this, the UWA has found ways to persevere, train regularly, and even get a few new faces involved in the action. Obviously, the future still remains a little uncertain for the Ukrainian Wrestling Arena, but the promotion is planning to keep pushing forward. They've got plans for a February show in the works already, which will see a brand new UWA World Champion crown, and they would like to resume a monthly event schedule if they are able to. But business as of now is beginning to move along. UWA has already uploaded their December event to their YouTube page and plans to do the same for their January event shortly. The first match of Unbreakable definitely sent out notice that UWA was back in a big way. It was a truly insane hardcore triple threat match between Toxic Nick, Alex D. Sin, and Hantry to determine the number one contender to the UWA Extreme title that included wrestlers landing in fans' laps in the crowd, power bombs onto boards of plastic forks, table spots, some blood, and a very raucous crowd. Hantry would win the match, lining up his title shot at the soon-to-be-released Power of the People. No spoiler here. The middle of the card saw some talented, high-paced wrestling on display, especially for competitors who have been out of action for over a year, as Lord Vane vs. La Máscara de Velocidad and Ranger Leonid vs. Skella both delivered. The night's main event saw more hardcore action as UWA Extreme Champion Russell Cross defended his title against Kenny Rivera. This bout featured some chairs and blood, but didn't go as hard in the extreme direction as the opening bout, but the crowd was still fully on board. Following the match, Hantry came face to face with Russell Cross, who he challenged at Power of the People. Results of that match will be held from this article due to the upcoming YouTube release of the show. Despite being faced with uncertainty and a dangerous environment in their country due to an ongoing conflict, the UWA has successfully brought pro wrestling back to their country, giving wrestling fans and wrestlers some entertainment and a reason to smile during otherwise uncertain time. Be sure to subscribe to the UWA YouTube page now so that you can check out both December's Unbreakable and January's Power of the People. For fans in Ukraine for whom it is safe and they are able to travel, consider checking out the February UWA event, which will see the brand new UWA World Heavyweight Champion crowned. And be sure to follow Ukrainian Wrestling Arena on Instagram to keep up with the latest updates. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about a pro wrestling scene you hadn't checked out before. For more coverage of pro wrestling all around the world and the Pro Wrestling World Map, where we're working to list all of the world's wrestling promotions, be sure to visit WrestleMap.com. Also, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that you can catch future similar videos.